Wow, man, you look pretty good.
What?
You look good. Did you get all cleaned up for this shoot?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. I've never seen you look so good.
I'm not trying to impress you, Gino.
I thought you might be. You know,
I don't
Bob.
I don't.
Listen, I don't know you that. I've only known about you. I've heard about you from other friends.
I know.
You know,
Whatever you want to do, I'm prepared for you, Gino.
that's my buddy. That's another one. You better believe it. Can you believe it?
Scuppa!
Jeez, you know everybody too, don't you?
I've been here a little while.
Yeah, you have, haven't you?
Yes, I did. I moved here in '78,
Yep.
and there was 3,500 people here. So
You have a Boston accent too.
a hard Boston accent. I grew up in Boston, and yeah.
Why did you come here?
Father Dalzell from St. Mary's. My friend, one of my best friends, was his nephew.
Okay.
So he came down because his uncle was the head of the parish.
Yep.
From in the early 70s, and was well established here back in the day. And my buddy came down because his uncle had a lot of connections, and I came down after him.
Are you a Catholic?
No. I came here in '78, and one of my first jobs was working in food for here and there. And they were one of the first fast food places with Mark Arnold to be, to be open and stuff like that. But then I didn't like that because that was too much like where I came from. And I became a fisherman after that. I learned to scallop. I rented a place on Trotter's Lane.
Yep.
And I came just to spend the summer and never went back to Boston ever again. Because it was just a different world. Where I grew up in Boston was very corrupt. And Boston in 1978 was a different world than it is today. Besides the government, the bulgers.
Yeah, of course. Well, what keeps you here, Bob?
Nothing keeps me here. I moved back after 17 years to I need friendship as I'm a little old man.
So this is, you established yourself here, so you come back. Do you own a house here?
Nope.
Well, how did you work that out? I mean, you must have so many friends that they all let you...
Yeah, the summers are a little tough, but in the winter it's not that tough. I have a good, there's a lot of housing available. It's just some people have become greedy.
Oh. You noticed?
But they bought the house for $1.2 million. I got to get this.
Well, of course.
God bless them.
Oh, sorry about that. All right, yeah, that is kind of the way it is. But now wait, let's go back in time a little bit. Because you have a relationship with Nova Scotia, or you did.
Yes, I do.
You still do?
I have a little piece in Nova Scotia. And
did Ken Kelly and you guys go up there together, or
no? I found a piece of property with Ken.
I see.
And I bought this piece in '99 before NAFTA, and I spent 12 years up there. After 9/11, it started getting a little more mine versus yours.
Did it really?
And yes.
Why would 9/11 have anything to do with that, though?
Because of the border.
Okay. I see. They didn't...
The border. No, the border.
They had it open.
Oh, they might have came from Portland, but the rumors were they came from Halifax. Whatever. No, it became a different world after 9/11. With NAFTA, I always believed Nova Scotia was going to be somewhere to drive like Cape Cod.
Right.
And it didn't become that. It became much more complicated. I didn't want to become a resident. And once they started getting a little more nervous, if you weren't a resident, as long as you didn't work, you were all set. But they were becoming, anybody could tell on you. And and you can get thrown out of your home.
What would they, I mean...
The rules do you know what the rules are across the border from you?
You're not allowed to grow pot up there.
Two different issues.
All right.
Do you know the rules across the harbor from you in Maine? In Maine, you could
Oh.
spend in Canada, you could spend 6 months out of a year
Right.
there.
Right.
I didn't do that for 11 years. I spent 11 years there. So I was breaking the law. So once I did that,
See, right. Why? Why?
and back in the day, in 2000, I started to learn about growing,
Okay.
and it was much more easier to go there than continue learning here.
Growing marijuana, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cannabis.
That's always been
no,
your
cannabis.
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 Well, this is very
Cannabis.
interesting that you and I are going for a ride at this particular moment.
I know what.
You know, it's legal. If it's not legal, it's legal now. Is it legal now? I mean,
certain aspects I can tell you the rules, but right now the Cannabis Control Commission is meeting today,
Yes.
making the rules for
are you going tonight?
the town meeting.
Yeah.
That
Well, it's the selectmen. They're going to make some decision tonight, I think. On when they're going to have the special town meeting. You got to
Yeah.
be there for that, Bob.
I will be there for that, but the town meeting, the special town meeting, is so convoluted to the real issues. Them worrying about where they sell pot is one issue.
Okay.
Cannabis
Yes.
is one issue.
All right.
And that's very hypocritical of our community, with the most highest rate of liquor licenses per any county in the country.
I agree.
So, what we're doing is worry where we're going to sell something. There's so many more issues that are so much more involved.
Like what?
That's like like how we're going to deal with it in the future. Marijuana could be a sustainable industry on Nantucket, similar to Scarlet.
Well, who's to say that someone can't? You can grow your own now. You're allowed to grow a certain amount.
12
yourself.
plants in
12
your
plants.
yard,
Okay.
long as it's in a secure area
Yeah.
and not seen from the street.
Okay. So but it can't be an industry because you're not allowed to sell it.
No, but this
But
is
you mean
what
if they gave out a
No, the
license?
CCC is making the rules for 3 different licenses.
Okay.
The retail license,
Yep.
the cultivation license, and the manufacturing license. The manufacturing license is involved in edibles and the byproduct. Cultivation, just like it sounds, is cultivation, and retail is very similar to retail. That's why I compared it to scalloping. Scalloping, you go out and get a harvest, you have to process it somewhere, and then there's retail stores to sell it.
And there's only
all that money stays here.
And there's only so many licenses that they give out.
The licensing parts, that's another issue.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean,
All
you
right.
know,
All right.
like
So-
scalloping license.
Okay, I understand. Before we go further, what's in it for you, Bob? What is it that you would like to see? Do you want to be a medical marijuana guy? Do you want to have a retail shop?
No, medical marijuana.
What do you want to do?
Medical marijuana is one issue, and medical marijuana cannot be grown outdoors or in greenhouses, because medical becomes contaminated by pollen, by bugs if you grow it outside.
I see.
Recreational.
I know that. Okay.
Recreational can be grown in greenhouses and outside, and that's the future. They don't grow grapes in warehouses. There's one issue of medical. I'd like to be involved someday in the recreational part of cultivation.
Now, with all that's happening in Colorado and I think Oregon, right? These guys have
Washington State.
they've been doing it for a while, right? So we can
that's
learn something from them, right?
Yeah, we can use that as a template.
Yeah.
If the town wants to form a committee to make the real rules at the April town meeting, advisory committee about how we can do this on Nantucket and be in the forefront,
Yeah.
it's very easily done.